One of many things on this land is this wood panelling with these 4 slots. Plenty of it, and too good to waste. Some of it's been left out a little bit ruined, but I thought, what can we do with it? So I'll show you it's not exactly a failure, it's because I use brittle board and it's just an experiment in making earth bricks. So I made up this frame by cutting slots to the halfway mark on this board, so they just slot in, and then I did various different aggregates and just poured water on, and I even made somewhere here, if I can still find it, little press to push the moisture out. Not entirely successful, but it was just a trial run. So that's the first use of that. The second one, basically the frame is bits of an old, I suppose, 1950s, 1960s bed headboard, and then just joined together. And again, this board has got these grooves. As long as they're not broken, you've got 1 and a 2, so it's a slot, so they interlock. So incredibly, there's absolutely no screws on the actual panelling, just on the actual frame, which should also make the basis of a beehive type of box as well. Depends where you want to use it as. So for this particular one, it's a compost maker in the darkness, so you pour a bit of urine, bit of water, bit of moisture in every now and again, and then let nature do the rest. I haven't actually joined these, and it's a live demonstration, no editing, but I've made this lift up panel on the bottom, excuse me, and as it composts, I'll just take it out from the bottom, and in touch with the ground, that will encourage any worms to come up, and they are your sort of workforce supplied by nature to break all this down, and you end up with lovely leaf mulch. And those black, or those compost sacks, if you want to make yourself a cover, just need a staple gun. If you're in a sort of more moist climate, I'd also recommend that you put this and line the inside, maybe do it with a staple gun all the way round on the inside, because you've got moist compost, and of course this is all entirely biodegradable, as it were. But a little bit of fun competition here. What's the minimum number of screws that you would need to build this? Right, just a little guessing game for you. There's 1 or 2 nails, because a lot of them are second-hand nails, so they've bent, and you can't really count what you can see on the screen. But it's just a little bit of fun if anybody wants to have a guess. And oh look, we've lost the little corner piece here. There you go. So it's not even nailed in at all on the side, it's just the leaves will push against it and hold it all. But it's all fairly tight fitting anyway. Just cut it right. I can't give you any dimensions because you do it to tailor the size that you've got. Same with the bricks, just make up your own size. So 2 little examples of recycling, upcycling, and creating leaf mulch, which will help also save on how much watering is done when you're in an area where water is a bit of a scarcity. You have to be sensible with it, and of course the more leaf mulch, around about 20%, or wood chippings on top, will all help hold the moisture in. I mean, you just observe, when you look at the back here at nature, you can see how thin that topsoil is, and yet you've got these massive trees and things that will just root down through that into this sort of more chalky thing, and then at the bottom there you've got a more like a reddish clay. And of course, what nature does, it drops leaves, that starts to form the topsoil, and all helps to keep the moisture in. So we replicate that by taking a few leaves here and a few leaves there, any bamboo, that's all stripped, and of course wood chippings, these are just bits I've picked up, and everything is priceless, everything has a use here. It's a completely different way of life, and one I would thoroughly recommend. And something like picking up leaves, if you're working for a system as a minimum paid job, is not very inspiring, but the dynamics change entirely when you're working not just for yourself, you're working part of the community, and you're also taking a leaf out the systems book. You're planning hundreds of years ahead what you do today, the legacy that the avatar will leave, and what you can co-create in this beautiful, beautiful landscape. This is another view from my level, and from the other side of the teepee, and there's the bamboo rebar, which I will talk about in another video. That's been a huge learning curve, very good one as well, and a perfect example of deprogramming from the negative default that we're given, and to look at things when things go wrong, because they're not actually going wrong, they are just learning curves. Part of that was also led to do an experiment with the earth bricks, but I'm reminded also of Dr. Joseph Murphy. Do not be discouraged, do not be disheartened. Look at the positives in things. But anyway, we'll talk about the rebar and the bamboo in a future video. So that's just a couple of ideas. You've got your either a beehive box or a compost accelerator machine, as it were, and a brick forming pattern, all used from recycled materials. Even the nails mostly are second hand, so that's why some of them bent. But all good fun, and just some inspirational ideas for you. Maybe there'll be something in it that you can think, that I could do this with that, and so on. That's the intention of this, to inspire. So love to you all, and have a beautiful, beautiful and creative day.